How the orphan outran the chief's son. Long ago in the land of Nomi, a small village surrounded by rivers and thick forests, lived a boy named Kina. Kina was an orphan. His parents had died when he was just a child, and the village only took care of him because they pitied him. He had no wealth, no family, and often went to bed hungry. The only thing Kina had was his strength and his legs. They were faster than the wind, or so the elders would joke. In the same village lived Boko, the chief's only son. Boko was known for being proud and boastful. He had everything a boy could want: beautiful clothes, the best food, and servants at his call. Yet, he never smiled at the poor. He would mock Kina and call him the barefoot goat because Kina ran everywhere without shoes. One day, the chief of Nomi gathered the people in the village square and announced, "There will be a great race through the forest to the sacred baobab tree and back. Whoever wins shall be crowned the village runner and receive a calabash of gold and a place in the royal household." This race was sacred. Only the strongest and bravest could compete because the forest path was filled with sharp thorns, wild animals, and tricky bends. Boko, of course, laughed loudest. "No one can outrun me. Especially not that barefoot goat," he shouted, pointing at Kina. But Kina stood silently. That night, he knelt by his parents' grave under the mango tree and prayed. "Mama, Papa, I don't have anything, but I believe I can do this. Please, guide me." On the morning of the race, the villagers gathered. The drum sounded. Boko arrived in a royal tunic, his feet wrapped in leather shoes. Kina came in his usual torn shorts, bare feet, and a steady gaze. "Do you really think you can beat me?" Boko sneered. Kina said nothing. The elder raised a cow tail and shouted, "Run." They dashed into the forest, the crowd cheering. Boko sped ahead at first. He laughed loudly, thinking the race was his. But the forest had other plans. A thorn pierced his shoe, and he stumbled. Kina, focused and light on his feet, dodged the thorns like he had done all his life. He knew the forest well; it had been his only companion for years. Halfway through the race, Kina saw a little antelope caught in a trap. He paused. The right thing to do was to help, even though it would cost him time. Gently, he freed the creature and whispered, "Run free, little one." As he turned to continue the race, the ground shook, a wild boar appeared. Kina's heart pounded. Suddenly, the same antelope returned and charged at the boar, distracting it just enough for Kina to escape. "Even the forest remembers kindness," Kina whispered. Meanwhile, Boko was lost. His pride blinded him, and he kept circling the wrong path. He shouted for help, but no one came. Kina reached the sacred baobab tree, touched its roots, and turned back. His legs ached, but he remembered his mother's voice. "When your heart is pure, the world will carry you." And so, the wind seemed to lift him. He ran back into the village square, tired, scratched, but victorious. The people gasped. "The orphan, Kina has returned." Hours passed before Boko finally stumbled in, dirty and furious. The chief stood up. He looked at his son, then at Kina, and said, "Today, the barefoot goat has outrun the prince. But more than that, he showed courage, wisdom, and heart. From this day forward, Kina shall live in the palace and be trained as a future leader of Nomi." Kina knelt, tears in his eyes. He didn't race to win gold or glory; he raced to prove that a person's value isn't in wealth or status, but in heart, determination, and kindness. And so, Kina, the orphan who once had nothing, became one of the greatest men the village of Nomi ever knew.